Saturday morning, the Experts program kicks off here on the Father's Day weekend, and our tech expert, Luis Alvarez, is getting things going for us today. Hi, Luis. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Doing much better. Thank you so much.
Good.
So what do you guys got planned for the Father's Day weekend?
Well, Ronnie wants to spend some time with me on Sunday. We're going to do a little barbecue, a little hanging out, depending on the weather. We might even venture over to the pool here where we live, but that looks like Saturday is probably the better day for that. But it would be nice to just get out and get a little sun. It seems we've had this weird weather pattern where it's foggy and cloudy during the day, and then it kind of opens up for a couple of hours in the late afternoon, early evening, and then it clouds back up. So Hopefully we'll have a much better time this weekend.
Well, looking at the weather forecast, we have sunny skies forecasted today all the way through Tuesday. Now, today, Saturday, is supposed to be the nicest day. For Monterey, it'll be 67. Probably out where you guys live, it'll be in the low 70s. Then Sunday, 64, 62, and 63 on Monday and Tuesday, but sunny. So looks like we're finally getting some nice weather here in June. And today, Louis, I'm actually down at the Custom House Plaza in Monterey because this is the weekend of the annual Rock and Rod Festival and Car Show.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you guys got to come down.
My plans may have changed.
Yes, you need to come down today. We've got, all the great bands playing as usual, like Elvis. Jeremy Elvis Pierce will be there with his tribute show. But the big headliner act this year, this will take you right back to your high school days, Pablo Cruz.
Oh, Pablo Cruz. No kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's a free concert. The concert there down in the Custom House Plaza around all the cars, there's no admission if you want to come down and watch the concert and enjoy it.
So, yeah, why not? Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, we think we're going to have a huge crowd this year for the Rock and Rod Festival with Pablo Cruz coming in, so should be really, really great. Anyway,
excellent. Well, count me in. Yeah. We will be there.
Hey, by the way, off the air, you'd mentioned to me that you guys have the SpaceLink internet on your business in downtown Salinas, and you've been pretty satisfied with that so far?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we got Starlink about almost a year ago when it became available in our area, and we did it because we have our primary broadband link is really good and reliable, but occasionally does go down, and our failover link was a very slow U-verse connection that there wasn't a lot of options for where our office is, and putting in fiber is cost prohibitive and other things are really expensive. So we got Starlink, and when we first got it, it was about 200 megabits download, but now it's up to like almost 600 megabits in burst mode. So it's a great failover link. It works really well on our firewall. Our team, when we do have an outage on our Comcast primary, doesn't even notice it because it just fails over seamlessly.
Well, now, what is the upload speed?
The upload speed's about between 10 and 20 megabits. Okay. So it's not really if you're doing a lot of uploading from your office, it's probably not going to give you the same performance as a hardwired or broadband circuit. But for a failover circuit, it's pretty darn good.
We installed one of those Starlinks down on Cannery Row on a building up there last Sunday, and we noticed that the download speed was pretty good, between 100 and 200, but the upload speed was like between maybe 1 and 2 or maybe up to 5, really slow. And so we're looking at sending it back because it's just too slow for our purposes.
So one of the things that I'd recommend, and this has become now a Starlink segment, which is just fine because I think it's a fascinating thing. Starlink is not one of those things where you set up and it automatically works at its peak right away. It takes like 3 or 4 days. And the reason is because it's triangulating all of the satellites that it's using and trying to learn what the satellite pattern looks like above it. And then it will orient the antenna after it's figured that out to the best position for the most satellites that it can see at once, which gives it a broader performance spectrum. So for us, when we first put it up, it was about the same. We were getting about 1 to 2 down and very bad upload speeds. But after about a week or so, it really stabilized and we started to get some really good performance.
Okay. So what is the mode that you have the receiver in that it optimizes the speeds you mentioned?
So it just does it naturally.
Oh, it does. Okay.
What it does though, it takes time because what the satellite or what the antenna needs to do is understand where it's at and pick up as many satellites as possible. Because really the strength to Starlink is not that there's one satellite that it connects to. It connects to a constellation. And the more satellites it can see, the more it can use them to kind of increase its bandwidth because it's not targeting just one satellite. It's basically targeting a mesh of satellites.
Oh, okay.
And the more that there are over it, the faster performance you're going to get. Okay. But it takes it a few days to figure that out.
So the reason I'm asking, and we had put this Starlink in down at Cannery Row at this one radio station, because they wanted to test it out and see what the speed would be like, because they're looking at moving one of their stations from, well, the FM site that's across the street from where you guys live at Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's that comm site there, which is a great site, but it's extremely expensive. So this one operator, he's looking at wanting to move to this very rural peak outside of Salinas called Alisal Peak, which is like double the height of Saddle Mountain at Boots Road, but it's still lower than Fremont, and he can move to that site. Technically, the FCC would allow them with their signal to move there, but the problem at that site, Lewis, other than PG&E, there are no services there. So if you want internet, which is, you have to have internet today to be able to operate your equipment and so forth, you would have to figure out how you're going to get internet up there, and the only way to get it there, either you're going to use Starlink, or you might do something like, let's say we go to downtown Salinas and put like a 5G spread spectrum radio on top of a building and have the internet service, either UVerse, not UVerse, but like your Xfinity, Comcast, or maybe the fiber optic service, and you shoot that service over a radio link out to the mountaintop, and then that's how you get your internet there. So that's what the SpaceLink or the Starlink doesn't work. That might be the other option. But as far as expecting Comcast or the phone company to run cable up to this site is never going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, or, well, I mean, actually, it could happen if you're willing to pay for it, but I think the cost would be prohibitive.
Yeah, I mean, we most of those build-outs start at, somewhere in the north of $10,000, and depending on the length, it can get up to, several $100,000 if they have to drag it for miles.
Right, exactly. So then you get to a situation where bringing the infrastructure to the site would cost more than the business is worth.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't do it.
But we, what we're finding is that using Starlink as a backup link for a lot of remote and rural areas really works well.
Right.
And it's something that we've been doing, quite a bit with some of our ad clients that are out in the middle of the Salinas Valley,
right,
or South Valley, where they just really don't have a lot of options, and this works.
Some friends of mine have an STR way out in Carmel Valley, out past the village, and they had HughesNet before, which was just terrible.
Yeah.
And they went with the Starlink, and now they have, I was over there yesterday and I measured, it was like 180 down and like maybe 5 up, which is perfectly fine for them because they're really interested in the download speed for being able to operate the television and everything like that, an internet service for people that stay at the house. So it has its place, and it seems to be a pretty good deal right now.
It only is going to get better as more and more satellites go up. You hear every few weeks about another SpaceX rocket going up and dumping a bunch of satellites into low Earth orbit, and the newer ones are actually better performing than the older ones.
Oh, okay, very
good. So, they're constantly improving, and if you have a Starlink now and you're getting okay performance, over time you're going to see that it's going to get better and better.
Hey, that's Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us today. Online, you'll find him then at alvareztg.com. At AlvarezTG is the Twitter handle, and Luis, the toll-free number for the I-Team.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-Team. That's 866-784-8326.